My name is César Félix-Brasdefer. I'm professor of linguistics and Spanish at Indiana University, Bloomington. I'm excited to present my book that was published by Multilingual Matters this year in June of 2025, The Pragmatics of Intercultural Communicative Competence, Language Use and Intercultural Understanding in Foreign Language and Study Abroad Contexts. Now, the main question that I examine and problematize in my book is, what does it mean to be interculturally and pragmatically competent in a second language or in multiple languages? I take a pragmatic perspective to examine language use and intercultural understanding among learners who engage in social interaction, critical reflection, and contextual analysis of speech acts, as well as understandings of polite and impolite behavior. I focus on the intercultural speaker as a learner, an agent, and a mediator. Now, my book consists of an introduction, 6 chapters, and a conclusion. It also includes a comprehensive list of references for those interested in the topic. The first 3 chapters set the theoretical and methodological foundation for the analysis of intercultural interaction and cultural understanding, and chapters 4 to 6 provide an empirical analysis to examine different dimensions of intercultural communicative competence in 2 learning contexts, the foreign language classroom and in a study abroad context. Now, I'm going to mention some of the highlights of my book, and I'm going to focus on 4 chapters. Chapter 1 proposes a model of intercultural communicative competence from a pragmatic perspective. Now, Michael Byram was the one who introduced this concept, but he focused on the foreign language classroom, taking into account notions of assessment. In my model, I focus on intercultural communicative competence from a pragmatic and discourse perspective. It includes 2 components, intercultural competence and communicative competence. Now, communicative competence includes 6 competencies: linguistic, pragmatic, sociolinguistic, discourse, interactional, and strategic competence. Under this model, pragmatic competence represents one dimension of intercultural communicative competence. And in chapter 3, I propose a pragmatic discursive approach to examine intercultural interaction. Now, some of the elements that are included in this model include pragmatic contexts, the speaker's intention and attention, emergent common ground, variability, and socio-pragmatic awareness, among others. Now, these 2 models, the ones presented in chapter 1 and in chapter 3, will be used in chapters 4 to 6 to examine different dimensions of intercultural communicative competence in 2 learning contexts, the foreign language and study abroad. Now, let me provide some of the highlights for chapter 4. In chapter 4, I provide a pragmatic classroom-based study to examine different dimensions of intercultural communicative competence, and I focus on the production and understanding of speech acts. Specifically, learners in the foreign language classroom engage in contextual analysis, critical reflection, and agency. And in chapter 6, I focus on intercultural impoliteness in a study abroad context. Specifically, I focus on how learners of different languages who are studying abroad perceive the notion of offense, how these learners perceive impolite behavior or rude behavior in intercultural encounters abroad. Now, I also analyze the construction of identity and the language of emotion. Now, taken together, these chapters go beyond the traditional distinction between pragmalinguistic and socio-pragmatic dimensions commonly used in second language pragmatics. The emphasis in my book is on intercultural interaction, cultural understanding, critical reflection, and analyzing the learner as an agent, mediator, and someone who can make his or her own choices. Now, this book will be of interest to students and researchers interested in second language pragmatics and in intercultural communication, but also to language teachers and program coordinators, as well as administrators in higher education who are interested in improving the learner's ability to communicate effectively and appropriately in a second language. I hope you enjoy my book.